We've asked like a couple of people this, and it's always exciting to hear, and I feel like you'll be one to have some good ones. What was like a wild story at UCLA? Like in any realm or situation, it does. Wow. There's no specific to it, but what's like a wild thing that like a story that is good to tell?
All right, I got one. So we practice. I don't know what time. Probably at like 3, and then or some days we practice at like 2, and we have to go straight to lifting. And so we finish practice, and there's this main walk along it's called Bruin Walk. It's like where everybody walks to class, and it like kind of connects the whole campus. It's one big kind of pathway. And I always have like one day out of like 2 months where I'm like, I'm not getting out of people's way, because I felt like I was always the person that would like, when you're like doing this, like, seriously, like, and it's like little, like people smaller, people bigger, like no matter what, like you're always the person that has to like get out of the way. And I was always doing that. And this it happened like 3 or 4 times. So once a year I would have a day where I'm like, dude, I'm not moving for anybody. Like I'm sick of that. Like people all like, they just walk and they expect you to like get out of their way. So one time it happened my freshman year, and I was like, and I told my friend when we were walking, I was like, Dylan, anybody that's in my way, I'm checking them. And so I would just walk, boom, boom. And I was just and everybody's like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? And I'm like, I'm freaking crazy. And so this one got out of hand. So I'm coming back from practice, and we have to go directly to weight. So it's like super fast. And I got out of like 2 people's way. I'm like, today's the day. I'm not getting out of the way. And so I'm coming straight down, and I pick a line on the path. There's like this, how there's lines on the path. And I take one. I'm like, okay, I'm not leaving. So I go and I look up, and there's this girl coming down, and she's on my same line, and she's looking at me from, I swear to God, 75 yards away. She's like way down the line. I'm like, oh my God. All right. Yeah. You want to walk on this? Let's go. So I'm walking. We come face to face, and I just stand there, and she's standing there, and she's just like this. And I just looking at her like, I'm not leaving. So I don't talk to her for the first like 2 minutes. Everyone else is like slowly passing by and like, Michael, what are you doing? And we have like a 5-minute break to get snacks. And I told the girl like, hey, I'm not leaving. Like, I don't know where you have to go, but I can be here all day. I can be here all night. I remember I had a date with my girlfriend that I'm with right now. We were going to a Dodger game, and I was seriously considering like, oh, I'm just gonna have to make sure that somebody gets on the phone and like can call her and say I can't make it to the game. And I was like, that's all I have to worry about. And so I'm standing there for a good like 5 minutes. My teammates are like, hey, we have to go to weights, but they brought me a jacket because it was a little bit cold, and they brought me a stool. So I'm sitting in the middle of the walkway on a stool with a jacket and a bar. And I'm eating my bar, and I'm like, I could do this all day. So she sits down. And
what?
Wait, hold on. Where'd she get a chair?
She didn't get a chair. She sat down on the floor.
Sat on the ground.
This girl was that committed.
What?
No. Yeah, bro, I'm not kidding. I actually have some film. I think I can get film of this. Please, I think I might have some film on my phone right now. I can show you guys.
Please send it to Brandon. Please send it to Brandon.
But so I'm sitting there, and so obviously I'm late to weights. And so my weight coach comes out, and he's like, hey, Micah, like, what are we doing? I'm like, I'm sorry, coach. I'm not going to make it to weights today. And he's like, what? What do you mean? What's wrong? I'm like, nah, you can give me any punishment you want. I'll show up here tomorrow at 1 a.m. I'll run a mile. I'll lift. I'll clean the gym. I'm not going to weights. And he's like, what in the world is going on? So he talks to the girl, and he's like, hey, like, what's your name? Like, okay, what's going on? Why are you guys doing this? All this stuff. And he's like, so he's not going to move. And dude, she's like,
what?
Bro, swear.
This is one of the craziest things I've ever heard, just for the record.
Really?
Actually, this is one of the crazy. I've never heard of 2 people who are like, both decided that
That's
we're
true.
sick
That's
of
true.
everyone's shit,
Also,
and we're not gonna fucking.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Now that I'm thinking about it, I've never heard of two people coming to a standoff because they don't want to move.
or you
That's
hear
actually-
about it, but I've never seen it get to the point where you're sitting down and like fuck all your obligations like that. Oh my god, that's wild commitment.
Yeah. So he ends up convincing her to leave and move off the line.
What
And
was
then
his convincing point? How did
No,
he get
he
her
had
off?
just told her like, hey, like he's gonna get in big trouble and like he's not gonna leave. And is there any chance you could step around, please? And she's like, like all this stuff. I'll send you the video. But yeah, that's a story that comes to mind. That's a pretty good one.
It has to be like the greatest game of chicken like ever played, man.
Oh yeah,
Just
yeah. That is
however long it lasted. Like that was.
Yeah. I don't know how long it lasted. It's a really good question.
You're like first 2 minutes. I was like, wait, he's exaggerating. You're right.
Yeah.
like he's exaggerating.
No.
Like,
I have
my
people
guys
that
have
can
me in
vouch for
shit.
me. No, I have
No,
people
I
that can
totally
vouch for
believe
me.
you, bro.
Once we hit the end of the story,
You can call my teammates or anything. It was pretty hilarious.
Believe it. That's just so funny, dude. That was the day that you and her both decided this is my line, and I'm not.
I have a feeling though, and
dude.
I told her, I said, I have a feeling that you're doing this every day, and you haven't met someone that's like, you know what, I'm not moving for you. I have a feeling that you're that kind of girl. You think everyone's gonna move out? I was talking after like the first 10 minutes. I was talking to her like that. I was like, you know what? You're the kind of girl that you think this walkway is yours, huh? It's built for you, huh? So I was just doing that, and after like a good amount of time, because the first part I didn't want to talk to her. She was asking me like, "What's your major? If we're gonna stand here, I want to know what's your major." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna talk to you. What are you doing? Like, get off the line."
That's actually amazing. I'm so glad Brandon asked this.
I think that's our best response we've gotten yet for sure. That's unreal. And it wasn't like a wild like, oh, like somebody pulled a fire alarm. It's like the most like awkwardly annoying.
Yeah.
But
And
like,
it's a small thing. It's a small normal
so
thing.
Small,
It's not
so
like a crazy party or anything. It's like a small normal thing. Just walking down the street one day.
Oh,
Dude, I've 100% had days too where I was like, I'm just always moving, and I'm like, I'm not huge or anything, but I'm a tall guy, and I feel like I'm always moving for people.
Oh my gosh!
And I've had days where like, oh, I'm leaning into this one. Like
Right,
I'm
right,
not.
yeah, for
I
sure.
am not moving.
I think a lot of nice people are gonna have to agree with what we did and feel proud of what we did for them.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It was a day that I had to stand up for all of us. You know, it was a big day.
Dude,
It wasn't just me on that line. Of courteous people.
He was representing. Dude,
Yeah.
I had a similar, definitely not similar, just on the same basis, because I can't accommodate with all you went through. But there's like, we had this little small little walkway from like the entrance to this one building to like our little cafeteria area. And I was in like the same thing. I was in a rush. I was like, dude, I'm doing the same thing. Like I'm just bouldering through people. I like first kid I get up to like check a baseball kid. He like wants to talk shit. I just keep cooking. And then like I'm barreling through people and I'm not getting words out of anybody. I'm like, all right, we're on it. This like 6'9" football lineman, like easy 3 seconds, like 360, no doubt. Just dead in front of me. I said, fuck it. I got out of his way. I was like, this is not the one.
No, if I had caught that guy on this day, it would have been a standoff to remember.
Oh,
If I had caught that guy on this day,
That would
it would have been a solid one.
I still, dude. So like, you guys make eye contact from far away, and then you just get face to face, and then you just stop. You just both stop. There's no fake side steps. You're both
no.
immediately stopping, and then you just stand there for how long? You said 2 minutes before anything really happened.
2 minutes before they probably came and brought me like a jacket and a stool.
That's insane. Also, shout out your boys for bringing a stool.
Yeah, I know. It's
Like,
hilarious.
I got you.
I couldn't help because I had kept a straight face the whole time, but I couldn't help it. And I was like dabbing him. I'm like, hey, thank you, man. Like, appreciate that. Like, you know. So that was a good one. I don't know. I haven't told that story. It just came to my mind. I don't know why.
That's a
so
good
funny,
one.
man.
That's a good one. I definitely forgot about that.